Hello and welcome to ATIC. My name is Akshay and we are back with a new part of this tutorial series, and today we will learn what is abstract class in C#. So let's see the contents that we will be discussing in today's tutorial, that is abstract class in C#, abstraction in C#, and polymorphism in C#. Okay, so now when we have learned when we have discussed basically what are the four pillars of OOP in C#, that is abstraction, inheritance, encapsulation, and polymorphism. So at that time I have told you we will be discussing all these four pillars of OOP simultaneously with all the concepts of C#. Okay, so we have already discussed and we have already learned in a very great detail what is encapsulation and inheritance in a previous part of this tutorial series. Okay, so if you guys not aware about that, please check those videos first, so you will understand that what is encapsulation and inheritance. Inheritance we have just learned in the previous part of this tutorial series. Okay, and today we will learn what is abstraction and polymorphism, the other, that is remaining part, that is remaining pillars of OOP. Okay, and first we will see what is abstract class. Abstract means existing in thought or in idea but not having a physical or concrete existence. Okay, so what does this means? Now if you guys have heard sometimes that it is an abstract painting. Okay, so in the context of painting, painters use this word often, that is, this is an abstract painting. So abstract is nothing but an idea, not having a physical appearance, but it is exist only in thoughts. Okay, so let me give a very simple example. If I said I have seen a boy on a vehicle yesterday, okay, but can you tell me on which vehicle? Did I mention that? No, I have not mentioned that he was on bike, or he was on maybe a bullock cart, he was in a car. No, I didn't mention that. So vehicle is nothing but an abstract idea, but the bike is a specialization of that vehicle. Bike is a existing phenomena. Okay, so that's how so that is nothing but an abstract. That is, abstract means existing in thoughts or in idea but not having a physical or concrete existence. Now in C# term, we also call that abstract class. We also call that class as abstract when we make that class as an abstract by providing abstract keyword in front of that class. So that is nothing but an abstract class. And then and from this definition, that is, abstract means existing in thought or an idea but not having physical or concrete existence. So this concrete nothing but our normal classes. So classes which are not abstract, they are the concrete classes. Okay, so abstract class is one phenomena, and the normal classes we have learned in a previous tutorial. So those are nothing but the concrete classes. Okay, so and the second point what it says, abstract class is a special class which cannot be instantiated and can contain both abstract and non-abstract members. Okay, and third point, that is, abstract class can be used as a base class for other classes. Okay, so what does this means? We will directly see them into action. Okay, so you guys will understand it better. That is second point, what it says, abstract class is a special class which cannot be instantiated and can contain both abstract and non-abstract members. Okay, so let's just see them directly in action, and for that let's just switch to Visual Studio. So this is nothing but a same example we have seen in a previous tutorial when we have learned, that is inheritance in C#. So again I'm repeating, guys, if you are not aware about what is inheritance in C#, and if you guys have not watched that previous video of this tutorial series, so please go and watch that first in order to understand this better. Okay, and if you guys are well aware of what is inheritance in C#, then it is well and good. Just focus on this today's concept then, that what is this abstract class. Okay, so this is the same example we have used in previous tutorial, that is inheritance C#. So in that video we have taken this one base class, that is employee class, and we have used that as a base class for this full-time employee and this contract employee. So these are nothing but the derived classes, and this is the base class, that is single base class for both these two derived types. And we have learned inheritance C#, that is single inheritance C#. Okay, and I have told you that we will be discussing what is multiple inheritance and why we have to use multiple inheritance through interfaces. Okay, and so for that we have to learn what is interface. So at that time we will learn what is multiple inheritance, and before that also we will completely see and in a very great detail what is interface. Okay, so coming back to this video, now we know this is a base class. We have made these two derived types of object here, and we have invoked these methods, that is special methods of this class as well as the method which is present in this base class. So we know we can access this base class method by creating this derived type object, and that is the power of inheritance. Okay, that all we have learned in the previous tutorial. Okay, now to make this class as an abstract, we have to just use abstract keyword in front of that class like this. So now this is an abstract class. So what does this makes a difference between normal class and abstract class? So let me show you that. So for that, let me remove this for now, and let me try to create an object of this base class. Okay, that is employee emp is equal to new employee, like this. So compiler is not giving any error, neither it will give a runtime error. Okay, so I will run this. Okay, so it is working fine. This first line, that is employee class constructor, is invoked, and as well as this second line, that is employee class constructor, is invoked. We know why it has printed that 2 times, because here we are making explicitly an object of that base class, that is employee class. So that is why it is invoking this constructor first, and we know, and we have seen that in the previous tutorial. Okay, so that's why I am repeating again and again. If you guys not aware about this, please check that video first. So that we know from that video, when you create an object of your derived type, then also before invoking this derived type constructor, it invokes the base class constructor first, that is this. So that is why that was printing the 2 times that employee class constructor is invoked. Okay, so now it's fine. Okay, so it is allowing us to make an object of this base class, that is employee. But now if I make this as an abstract class, as abstract, okay, and now if you see here, so it is giving an error. What it says, cannot create an instance of an abstract class or interface employee. Okay, so that's what this first point says. Abstract class is a special class which cannot be instantiated and can contain both abstract and non-abstract members. Okay, so we'll see that. Now why is it so? Why it is not allowing us to make an object of an abstract class? So that's because this abstract class can have these non-abstract members. These are nothing but the non-abstract members as well as abstract members. So what is abstract member? So let me just take one abstract method, that is public abstract void print name, like this. So this is nothing but an abstract method, also called as abstract members of this abstract class. This abstract method tells that there is no need to provide an implementation right here, and if you want to do that also, or if we go and try that as well, so it will give us an error. What it says, employee print name cannot declare a body because it is marked as abstract. So that is why this abstract member, this abstract method does not need to provide an implementation. The derived type of this base class, this base abstract class, will provide implementation for this method. So how? And I will show you that. Okay, so if you come here, now it is giving error. What it says, full-time does not employ full-time employee does not implement inherited abstract member. Okay, so now this derived type needs to and have to provide an implementation for this abstract base class method, that is abstract method. So how we can provide implementation explicitly as well as, or what we can do, just hover your mouse over here, over that red squiggly line, and go to this show potential fixes, and what it says, the first line, that is implement abstract class. So if I double click that, and it have implemented that method, that is this print name method. But again there is one problem. It is automatically giving that implementation to this class by through this IntelliSense, but we have to provide any logic here, and if we don't do that, then what it will throw? It will throw this not new implemented exception. And how? I will show you that. Let me explicitly or maybe from IntelliSense implement that as well here as well in contract employee as well. Okay, So if I do that, and if I try to now use this method, okay, this print name method, okay, so let me use that here only, because anyway it will gonna throw an error. Okay, so f dot print name. Okay, so it is giving me that method name in IntelliSense, that is this print name that we have just implemented, which was abstract method in a base class. Okay, and we know it cannot allow us to make an object. Okay, so if I run this, okay, so it is throwing an exception. It has allowed the previous operations, because if you guys see here, this is coming before this method, all this process, this initialization, calling of this print details. So it has allowed that, but as soon as it has reached here, that is print name, and we know we have not provided any logic, it was throwing an exception, that is this exception, not implemented exception. So that is why, whether that IntelliSense gives us a method implementation, but we have to provide certain logic there, otherwise it will throw this error. Or so let's say we will provide any basic logic here, or maybe let's just give one simple console message here for now. Console.writeLine implemented method in full-time employee class. Okay, and similarly I will give one message here as well, that is implemented method in contract employee class, like this. Okay, and now if I run this, and before running this, let me use that method in contract employee object as well, through contract employee object as well. Okay, so c dot print name. Now, or maybe what we will do, for the sake of simplicity and naming conventions, let's make this method as the name of this method as print message. Okay, so that we have to change here as well, print message, and here as well. Okay, and now we will invoke that method through both these objects of derived type. Okay, c dot print message. Okay, and now if I run, okay, so it is working fine, and it is giving that message here. Okay, so for full-time employee, implemented method in full-time employee class, and here as well, that is implemented method in contract employee class. Okay, so that is how this abstract methods or abstract members doesn't need to have a body in abstract class, and that will and the implementation for that will be provided in derived type, and they have to provide that. But if they decide they don't want to provide that implementation, like this, if they decide they don't want to provide this implementation, okay, like this, if I comment that, and here as well, so we know that will give us an error. Okay, like this. But if you don't want to provide the implementation, then you have to mark this class as an abstract as well, like this. So this is possible. You can inherit one abstract class from another abstract class. So this is possible, and I will mark this as abstract as well. But it will not give us any error here, but you cannot create an instance of an abstract base class or any abstract class for that matter. Okay, so it is giving error here as well, because we have just marked that abstract, that class also an abstract, because so what it says, cannot create an instance of an abstract class or interface full time. So we have not seen what is interface yet, so we cannot create instance of an interface as well. Okay, but that we will learn in a very great detail in later videos. Okay, so don't worry about that for now. And what it says, that the second point, object initialization can be simplified. Let me Let me see that through IntelliSense what it says. So it is giving the IntelliSense, nothing but an IntelliSense. The object initialization can be this way as well. Okay, so this green line, whatever in this green section, that's also we can make an object, and we have seen that, and that we have learned when we have in a very first tutorial when we have learned what is class and struct. So at that time only we have learned and we have seen the different types of creating object and initializing the fields of an object. Okay, so that is why if we make this abstract class, we cannot instantiate that. But if you don't want to make your class as an abstract, then you have to provide implementation for your base abstract class. Okay, so like that. If I uncomment this, and here as well, like this, so the error will be gone, and it will go from here as well. Okay, so what this error, we will see that cannot create instance of an abstract class. Yes, we have to remove abstract from that as well. That is contract employee class as well. Okay, so now it is good. It is not throwing any error. So this is nothing but your abstract class, which can have non-abstract. This is also non-abstract, which is having a body. Okay, as well as an abstract member in this abstract class. So now why it is not allow us to make an object of an abstract class? Because it makes very much sense that this abstract class is incomplete class. It can have this complete properties and complete methods, but it is having incomplete method as well, incomplete members as well. So that doesn't make sense for this abstract class to allow instantiation. Okay, that is to create an instance of a class, because we know implementation for this abstract member will be provided by these derived types, and through that derived type object, this method, that is abstract methods, will have space in that object only. Okay, so in that memory only. So that is why it doesn't make sense for abstract class to allows us to create an object of an abstract class. Okay, so that is why. But abstract class can have constructor. Yes, and why? Because we know there are these fields, we can have properties, that is these non-abstract members in this abstract class as well. So to initialize these, your abstract class can have constructor, and that we have seen. Okay, so it is allowing this constructor. This is nothing but a constructor. If I run this, we know the derived type object will invoke that base class constructor through its derived type constructor. Okay, so it is allowing that employee class constructor is getting invoked. So from that we can say an abstract class can have a constructor but cannot be instantiated. Okay, now what is third point, that is abstract class can be used as a base class for other classes. So that we have already seen. It is working as a base class for both these derived types, that is full-time employee and contract employee. Okay, so this is nothing but your abstract class. And guys, I am repeating again and again, to understand these concepts better, you have to follow my previous video of this tutorial series. You need to have a very good understanding of what is object, what is class, how objects stored in a heap, how objects or how variables get stored into the memory. That all the things I have explained in this tutorial series. You have to have a very good understanding of that. Okay, so then and then only you will understand why it is not allowing us to make instance of this abstract class, but instance of this abstract class, but it is allowing that constructor, and why. So you have to understand basic concepts first. Okay, and then only it is a piece of cake for you guys. Okay, so to understand this concept. Okay, now let's just see what is abstraction in C#. So what it says, abstraction is one of the 4 pillars of OOP that I have already told you. Abstraction is the phenomena of showing only necessary information and hiding the complexity from user. Now what does this mean? Let me give a very simple example. So we know when a company manufactures any car and sells that car to the user, that is to the customer, and that customer knows how to drive that car. Okay, he knows how to change the gear of a car, but he does not know, or neither he doesn't need to know the implementation, the logic behind that changing that gear. He doesn't need to know the mechanism inside that gear changing. Okay, the only thing he has to know that how to change the gear, or how to drive a car, how to handle those wheels of a car. So that is nothing but an abstraction. So we hide the complexity from the user and we show only necessary information. And in C Sharp, what is abstraction? Let's just see directly into an action. Okay, again we will switch to Visual Studio. Now how we can implement that abstraction in this code? So for that, I have already told you we cannot do something like this. Why? Because this is an abstract class, and an abstract class doesn't allow us to create an instance of that class. Okay, but we can do something like this. This is allowed. So what this means? We are creating derived type object through this abstract base class reference variable. So this is nothing but a variable of type abstract class which is holding the reference of this derived type, that is this full-time employee. So this is allowed. And similarly I can do something like this as well. I have to make that emp1 and here emp2, new contract employee. So this is nothing but we are creating derived type object through abstract base class reference variable. So this is nothing but an abstraction. Now you guys might be wondering how this is an abstraction. So I have just told you an example. We hide complexity from user. We don't give an access to the implementation or the mechanism of that gear, that changing gears. He know how to change the gear of that car, but he doesn't know the mechanism inside. So similarly here as well. Now let me comment all this code first. Okay, and I will show you that. Control K C. Okay, now we know we have created these two objects, that is full-time employee and contract employee, through base class reference variable, that is abstract class reference variable. Okay, so now we know we can access this print message method like this, because we know derived type object can access members of their base classes. Okay, like this. And if I use that here as well, it will allow us to do that. And if I run this by pressing Ctrl F5, okay, so it is running fine. Okay, so it is working fine. What it says, first it has invoked that employee class constructor. Okay, so let me comment that as well. That we have seen when we have learned inheritance in C#, that how those constructor getting called, that how this constructor gets called. So that is why at that time we have created those constructor explicitly, and we know if we don't provide any constructor, the compiler will provide constructor. That also we have seen in this tutorial series. If you guys not aware about that also, so that is why I am repeating again and again. Please check out the previous tutorials of this tutorial series. Okay, so I will comment this as well. And now if I run, okay, so implemented method in full-time employee class, implemented method in contract employee class. But again, now where is the abstraction? Now let me keep this as it is, and let me create another two objects, that is full-time employee object through full-time reference variable only. Okay, like this, new full-time, and similarly contract employee through contract employee reference variable only, like this. And let me repeat the procedures, that is f dot print message, and here as well print message. And let me run this as well, and I will show you that where is the abstraction. Don't worry, it is working, it is also working fine. Now where is the abstraction? If you right click here or hover over your mouse here, what it says, it is returning nothing, that is void, and it is a full-time employee class method print message, and if you right click on that and go to definition, it will redirect you to the definition of that message, of that method, that is the logic of that method, that is the implementation of that method. So here user is directly exposed to the implementation, that is he can see that complexity of this method. Okay, so it is not a very complicated code, but in a real time there is a complicated code written in an application. This is nothing but a simplicity. For simplicity I have taken only this console message here, but in a real time there are the complex codes that are written inside a method, and we are allowing a user to redirect there itself, so user can see this complexity. So we should not do something like this. This is a very bad implementation, this is a very bad code. So that is why we need to provide an abstraction. And how we have provided that, I have just shown you. If I right click on this method, that is the object, that is we are accessing that from the object of this reference variable, that is their own reference variable. But if you create an object like this, the derived type object through abstract base class reference variable, so at that time if I go to and right click on that, and if I try to go to definition, so where does it is redirecting us? To this abstract definition only, and not the implementation. So this is nothing but an abstraction. Now user cannot see the implementation of this method. He doesn't need to have knowledge also, he just know how to use that method, but he doesn't need to care what is the implementation of this method, what is the logic behind this method, what is the mechanism of this method. So that is nothing but an abstraction. And if I try to go here as well, it will redirect also to that body only, to that definition only, and not the implementation. But if you right click on this method, it will redirect you to that implementation. So that is nothing but an abstraction, and that we have to follow, that we should follow in our application. So this is not a correct way. So this is the correct way, and this is nothing but an abstraction. Now if you hover your mouse over here as well, what that message says, what that says, it is returning nothing, that is void. And what it shows, that this is a method of this employee class. This is a method of this employee class, that is this base abstract base class. It is not showing you that this is a method of that full-time employee. Okay, whether we have created that object of this contract employee or this full-time employee, but it is giving in that intelligence as well that this is a method of this employee. And if you redirect as well by going definition, it will redirect to only definition. So that is nothing but an abstraction. And that's what it says. Abstraction is the phenomenon of showing only necessary information and hiding the complexity from user. Now what is polymorphism in C#? Polymorphism is also one of the 4 pillars of OOP that we have discussed, okay, at the very start. And polymorphism is the ability of an object to take more than one form. And what third point says? Accessing derived type object through its base type reference variable makes our application automatically polymorphism based application. Now what is polymorphism also we have just seen when we have learned abstraction. So how? Let me show you that. Now what polymorphism is? Polymorphism is nothing but an ability of an object to take more than one form. Now we know this is nothing but an object. Maybe we can say that this is a reference variable of abstract base class which is holding the reference of this derived type object, but now this is nothing but an object as soon as we initialize that to this variable. So this is nothing but an object of same class, that is employee, and this is also an object of same class, that is employee. So ability of this object of the same class to take more than one form. It is taking more than one form, that is this is full-time employee as well, and this is contract employee as well. So we can say employee is full-time employee as well, and employee is contract employee as well. So this is nothing but a polymorphism. And what is the second point? So this is the first point, that is polymorphism is the ability of an object to take more than one form. And third, what it says, accessing derived type object through its base type reference variable makes our application automatically polymorphism based application. And that's what we have done here. We are accessing derived type object through its base class reference variable, and that is making our application polymorphism based as well. This is nothing but a polymorphism as well, and I have shown you already what is abstraction as well. Now let's just quickly see the summary. What it says, abstract keyword is used to make a class an abstract class, that we have seen. If you want to make class as an abstract, we have to use abstract keyword in front of that class. Okay. What it says, what is the second point? If derived class doesn't want to implement abstract method of abstract base class, then derived class also needs to be marked as abstract, otherwise compiler will throw error. We have seen that. Okay, so let me show you that again. I have told you, if this derived type doesn't want to provide implementation for this abstract method, then this class also needs to be marked as abstract. But if it does not want to be an abstract class, then that class needs to implement the method of this abstract base class. But if that class doesn't implement that method, like this, if I comment this, so compiler will throw error here. Okay, so full-time employee does not implement inherited abstract member, and that's what that point says. If derived class doesn't want to implement abstract method of abstract base class, then derived class also needs to be marked as abstract, otherwise compiler will throw error. Okay, we have seen that. Now what is third point? Creating the derived type object through its abstract base type reference variable makes our application implemented both abstraction as well as polymorphism at the same time, that we have just seen here. So it is not only making our application polymorphism based, as well as it is making our application abstraction based as well. At the same time, we are creating this derived type object through its abstract base class reference variable. So this is nothing but a polymorphism as well, and as well as a abstraction. If we hover our mouse here, or if we go to the definition, it redirects us to the definition only and not the implementation. So this is nothing but an abstraction as well as polymorphism as well. So this one object is able to be a full-time employee. At the same time, it can be a contract employee as well. So this is nothing but abstraction and polymorphism at the same time. And that's what this point says. Creating the derived type object through its abstract base type reference variable makes our application implemented both abstraction as well as polymorphism at the same time. So that's it for today, and we will meet in our next part of this tutorial series. So till then, subscribe this channel, like, comment, share, and please guys feel free to comment in the comment section below. If you guys not understand anything, let me know. I will try to simplify this more as well. And please subscribe to this channel so that channel will reach to more people, to more beginners who wants to learn C# in a very simple way. Okay, and I will try to make these video tutorials as simple as possible. Okay, so we will meet in our next part of this tutorial, and till then, stay tuned and thank you.